I see you guys are early birds. You really were waiting for this topic, something burning inside us. It's something that we need to speak about. But I see that the mainstream media have actually been silenced when it comes to issues of COVID-19. So I thought let's go for it. Why not? COVID-19, the lockdowns, the vaccines. With South Africa, I think a week ago they received their first batch of vaccine. Zimbabwe is following suit. They've already ordered from China. So I wanted to ask a question. Is Africa making the right decision regarding COVID-19 lockdowns and the vaccines? I mean, just looking at the numbers, we recorded them, one else. So is it, are we making the right decision, or are we just going with the flow because everybody else is talking about the vaccine? I'll start with you, King Ajam.
Um, I would say, and this is just my opinion, so I'm not speaking on behalf of any organization or group. I'm
Oh,
speaking on
have I
behalf
lost
of,
them or have they lost me?
oh,
Let's
no, I'm
see.
here. Uh-oh. I thought I was going to have a hard time. We have storms in the area. Uh-oh. She's gone.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's the issue on that side. I noticed because I make a lot of calls to Nigeria and I have to talk really fast. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, why are you talking fast? Because you about to cut off. So I got to talk fast, man, because y'all, I don't know what's going on. Like, but there's just certain things that gotta be right. Like, you gotta have water, you gotta have light, and then I would assume in these days and times you gotta have that Wi-Fi. So the money got to go into that.
The thing is, everything is synchronized into their system. It's on purpose that Africa is shortage of water, it's shortage of
Mm-hmm.
internet. They're doing it on purpose so
Mm-hmm.
that we demand their, we go seek for their help and assistance, and
Right.
then we allow them like to control and manipulate our system. Well, then they will tell us, in a short time, oh, now you've got a very good internet, now you are developing, etc., etc. But that
Mm-hmm.
is only as long as we are in their control.
Right.
Like South Africa, for example, the South Africa is in their control, so they're like telling the whole world, like, the first one developed country in Africa, and the whole of Africa is South Africa. And
Mm-hmm.
because they want to tell us, oh, it's because it's the white people who are contributing to their development. That's
Right.
the implication.
Right. And
But yeah.
I know, like on this side, and I'm not trying to interrupt at all. But I know on this side, the Africa is the gold mine. It's actually a giant gold mine.
Yes.
Everything is there. Every resource mineral is there. It's just the people don't know it. They don't know it yet. And
Because
even on this side, I advocate that strongly. I tell the people, I say, man, what you talking about, man? Without the continent, United States wouldn't be anything because where are you going to get your uranium from? Where are you going to get the cobalt to make the cell phones? Where are you going to get all these things? And I go, you guys for too long have been telling me these lies and a bunch of lies. And now I'm going to tell everybody else it's a bunch of lies. And then now there are like, questioning me, watching me, because I had to put my passport. I had to it expired, and then I put the paperwork in for a new one. I still ain't got it back, and I'm born here. I'm born here, which I mean I'm not proud of that, but I'm just saying, based on their criteria, I'm born here. I was served in the military, never been in trouble ever, not even a speeding ticket, and that's rare for a person like me in America. And yet I can't get my passport back. And then they're claiming, oh, it's delayed because of paperwork and we don't have enough people and this and that. I'm like, nah, man, y'all know I'm trying to go to Africa.
Yeah,
So
but
you know.
the thing is, I always like, I mean, you should get a full privilege in America as well. I mean, you should know that you should confidently say that America is also my country. You should be able to say that.
Yes. However, I agree with you. And believe me, there's too much blood that's been shed from my ancestors on this land. Um, however, we just very discontent with the organization here, as far as the government, as far as and then the cancer of racism that exists
My
in
God,
this country.
but then we're still live here. Are we being recorded? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they already know, people know my views, so you know, I don't. But anyway, she said to keep talking. However, last time I was on the show, it was similar. So it's just like you say, it's done on purpose, and we just got to work around it. That's a very good comment there because a lot of people they get upset. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, man, that's just the way it is because somebody, like you say, is allowing that to happen. You know, you got terrible network, how you get how any other part of the day or year or month network is okay. Then when somebody from England, United States, wherever tries to do something, it's always a network issue. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not. I agree with you 100%. Um, it's always something, and even on this side, there's always some. Oh, you got to move your car. Oh, you're in the wrong. You're parked in the wrong area. Oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got. It's always something. It's always something. Oh, your car has too tint too dark. Oh, this and that. This and that. It's always something. But I know I've been able to navigate through this system, and believe me, I don't hate anybody. Um, however, I do know there's
No, I
issues.
believe that the Black people should all really gather together and form their own government. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, I said that on this side and got thrown out of a church.
yeah, there should be two governments. For Black people, they always have their own government.
Well, what's funny is that here there is two governments. There's a native government, a sovereign native. You know, the people like the Apache, the Seminole. They're not governed by the U.S. They're governed by their own. I hate to use the word tribal, but they're governed by their own tribal councils.
The Black
So in
should
other words,
well,
if you stop a Seminole here in Florida, if you stop a Seminole and he did something criminal, you have to turn that Seminole over to the Seminole Tribal Council, and they have to decide what they're going to do with this man or woman. People don't know that. They don't teach that in school. They teach you, oh well, you got to follow the law, and blah 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 blah, and then they don't tell you how the law works. They don't tell you that there's a legal language that's involved, and that it sounds like English, but it's different definitions. They don't tell you none of that, and then you get caught up, and then next thing you know, you're sitting in jail. Like, how did I end up here? All I said was no. I said no, or I said my name or whatever, and she said that she's coming. She's texting me through my telephone, and she's saying that she's trying to get back on. And then she said, "We are live." And I'm like, okay, yes, I know. Yeah. But yeah, before if you don't mind, I was gonna give Queen Shumba my contact information to give to you on that side in England.
which information?
My information, I'm gonna give to Shumba to give to you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it to her, then she's gonna give it to you. And then, yeah, because I try to make contacts every time I come on the show, every time I do anything on the continent, and I built up a lot of, contacts, um, and so forth. But but yeah, I'm like I said, I'm in the classroom every day. Um, there is no social distancing on this side. None of that. Uh-oh. You came back?
A very good afternoon and welcome to Radio 54 African Panorama, creating the Africa we want. Sorry about that, some networking glitches. Again, that's what happens when we don't own anything as Africans. We have to just rely on what they have to give. And if in your area it's not good enough, so then it is what it is. But anyway, thank you, Empress Pia and King Ajamo. It's so great to have you. And I've seen you have already started with the topic COVID-19, the lockdown, and the vaccines. Are we ready? And is Africa actually making the right decision, or we're just following up? So yeah, let's begin from there. What's your take on that? Is Africa making the right decision? I see Clifford Madondo. This is a good topic area. I hope you guys can introduce me. You can invite me to contribute. Yes, inbox. I'll send you the link if you wanna come on board. The more the merrier, and want to hear what everybody has to say. Ronnie Goodman, good conversation. Thank you. Listening from America. Matloba Nesisonto Mtungwa. Listening. Thank you so much. We can move with the topic with the guests. Is Africa making the right decision? I want to hear what the Queen has to say. Is she listening, or if she lost me?
Oh, okay. You want to? Okay, yeah, I'm listening. Well, I would say, in order to make a sound
Okay.
decision,
Is
we
Africa making the right decision by taking the vaccine and doing all these lockdowns? Are we making the right decision?
yeah, that's what I'm. Okay, yeah. Thank you for first of all, thank you for giving me
Okay.
this chance to discuss
Not
on this
sure.
issue.
Let me see.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Where'd you go, Simba?
oh, I think the connection is really.
I wanted to hear what you're gonna say. Oh man. Oh man. Let's see what she says. Oh, she came back, I think. Oh man.
She cannot, do a proper
Yeah,
job
I
like
know.
this.
It's really rough sometimes.
Yeah.
I've been on many shows. It's really rough sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't act up at all, and then sometimes it does what it's doing now. But I was going to tell you, in my classroom, I put a picture of Haile Selassie, and he's has like lines around him, and the children are like, "Who's that guy?" And I was like, "Well, he was the last supposedly whatever king of Ethiopia or whatever." And I guess his demeanor was very calm, and these animals would be around him they were and I'm like, wow, that's some powerful stuff,
You know,
man.
Haile Selassie had a tamed lion in
Yeah.
the palace. Yeah.
That's rare though, because you got to have a good heart, and you got to be a good person to be around
Yeah.
something like that. You can't just roll around lions, and so that shows the integrity of the man. And if anything, I'm not here to say that he had a good rule. He was a good ruler or not a good ruler. That's not my point. My point is he's around animals that are wild, but they're not wild around him. So that means he got something's up. Like he's a good person. I don't know. Something's up. He's on another level.
Yeah.
And
When the white people see better person like him, you know, there was this guy that I met here, and he just said to me, Haile Selassie is not black, he's white. And I was like, what? He's
no,
so black. I mean, he's pure black.
right.
And he was trying to argue with me, like, saying that he's black. And he even tried to tell me that I'm not black, but I am
What?
black. I'm so pure black, I told him. And then he was kind of, pissed off for, not like
But
being happy.
everybody knows that the people in Ethiopia, Eritrea, and in Somalia, all those areas, Sudan, they're all African. Now, Africans
Are
have
so
different.
African. Actually, we are, you know, um, they say that Africa is the origin of human race.
Mhm.
That's a fake story. Actually, that it's in Ethiopia that they say they found an old bone called Lucy, and then they told us like Ethiopia is the origin of human race. That is fake story.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that is fake.
So the Great Rift Valley never happened.
I mean, the Rift Valley, of course, there is a Rift Valley, but the bone,
Right.
it's a white person that he said that he discovered
Yeah,
a
that was
bone.
those were the Leakeys. There were two British people from Kenya. They claimed they found those bones, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
found many. So that's fake
that is
news.
fake. Come on, look.
Oh wow.
Just ask yourself, what does it mean? Like, okay, look, what does it mean to say that a certain spot on Earth is the origin of human race? Does it give sense? We didn't grow. I mean, as human beings, we didn't grow from the ground.
True, 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 true. I
But
think I think I agree with you in
it
that.
can be we are the origins of Black people. I mean, when we say origins, we are the original residents of that area. That could
Yeah,
give.
because I was gonna say
They didn't say like that. They said it's the origin of human race.
right.
No.
No, what I was gonna say was that um on this side, that is the dominant um information that the people are getting. They're saying that everything originated in the Great Rift Valley, but they're not basing it off of the bone, even though the bones that they found were ancient. They're basing it off of genetics.
Me, I don't even.
But
I would like
at the
to
same time,
donate
I'm seeing what you're seeing. I'm definitely feeling that right now. I'm like, wow, that makes sense. Um, but yeah, and then like you say, the source, who found these things, and then you look at the source, you're like, wait a minute, hold on, those not Ethiopians or
Yeah.
whatever. Those are
All
people
these
from.
fabricated stories, also the genetic science. I don't really believe, because there is no way we can prove it's true or not.
Yeah,
Especially,
that is true. That you make a good point there. You make another good point. That is
yeah,
true.
especially if they say like, I have this and this kind of race like some 300, 200 years ago. There is no way I can prove.
Right. Yeah, because there's absolutely no way. There's
Yeah.
not, matter of fact, you can't even prove 150 years ago.
Even the very close blood relations, like aunts and uncles, brothers, sisters, they're even with those kind of genetic science, they cannot do like 100% correct science.
That is true.
Even with those ones, you can prove because all of them are alive, and then you
Right.
can prove whether their genetic science works really perfect or not.
Right.
But even with those, you can see that they've got some failures. So there
Yeah,
is no way with some 200, 300 years ago, there is no way they would know anything.
that's true. That is true. Now, not to change the subject, but I also have a picture of the Queen of England and the Prince or somebody kneeling before Haile Selassie. They're kneeling before him.
Yes, he was
Kneeling, like they're kneeling down. And when I saw that, I was like, what? Yeah, they're kneeling down and him and his queen are in the picture and they're like looking at him like, like it was a still photo. And
yeah.
I was like, man,
You
that's
see,
how.
and so although all those fabricated stories, the genetic science and those old bones found in Rift Valley, it is all, the intention of all those fabricated
Yeah,
things.
that's what I was going to ask you. What would be the intention?
What the intention is to say that Africa belongs to everybody. You see,
Oh,
yeah, they want, but no, Africa is only, it's the black people's resident. I mean, it's the black people's land.
so do you think, and you don't have to answer this, but do you think that we, as African descended or people, were the first people on the planet? Like the first people, like if you, and I'm using the word first loosely. I'm saying like, do you think like we are
That
the
one,
foundation?
I cannot know, but one thing I can tell for sure is that obviously there have been created different kinds of races of human being, and
Right,
those different types of people have got their own spot on Earth, as residents. When they started living together with their own race, with their own community, each one of them have got their own space on Earth. So that's for sure. That's something that everybody can see, you see.
but how? Okay, but how come? Like I've seen this before. I've seen like a African man, for an example, will marry a Caucasian woman, and the baby looked African. I seen an African man marry a Spanish woman or someone from Spain. The baby looked black or looks African. I seen African man marry a Korean or Japanese or Chinese woman, and the baby without a doubt look African. So how is that? And then vice versa. If it's the woman and then the man is different, the same thing happens. I've noticed that because I mean I'm 48 this year, and I've been around the world 3 times, and I'm like, wow, that's your mom, that's your dad. Wow, look at the baby. Baby look like it's a black one. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, how does that? And then so that's where I tend to question or not question, but tend to like, wow, that's interesting. Um, Very interesting because you see that, especially here in the United States, because here in the United States, you don't typically see, believe it or not, you don't see African with African. So you normally don't no more like you used to see that, but now in the modern like 1990 onward, you see these mixtures of couples, right? And you rarely will see a black man with a black woman and they have black children. Do they exist? Yes. Is it hard to run into a straight family like that where I'm at here in Orlando? Yes. Very difficult sometimes. And then
That
you're like, and I seen Ethiopians. I've been to an Ethiopian restaurant right here. Ethiopian restaurant right here where they burn incense and you got to eat with the thing, the plate come out, you got to eat with your hands, like a little bread. You got to put the food on the bread and all that. And everybody Ethiopian, right? And then these Ethiopian women come in, right? They come in, and then you see them with these American men, and you're like, what? Like what? Like,
But not all of them. I'm sure in
yeah, not all, not all. Yeah, trust me, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not definitely not saying that. But the ones that I saw, I was like, what? Like what?
you
And
see,
then looking at me, like, what you doing here? And why you got the African clothes on? And I'm looking at them like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like,
that is part of the system. You see, they have looked up the system in a very complicated way. Marriage is also one of their controlling system. But we, the Black people, have to really unite and teach our people all these things. We have to sustain our race by multiplying within each other. We have to stop mixing with other races. But those people are deliberately the white people, the Chinese, they especially when they want to move to Africa, and control Africa, they deliberately marry some African person, and then they think they can have privileges by marrying Africans.
yeah, I've seen that I've read a lot of articles and checked out things. I've seen that they're just randomly marrying people, and then somehow they're like, well, I married an African, so I'm okay with y'all. And you're looking at them like, what? That doesn't mean you're okay. And I seen that last weekend. I was at a an African store. They had like a community center, and they had an event there. And I went, and then I saw this black lady or African lady, and she was with this Caucasian man, and he was talking to me like we brothers, and I'm like, yes, humanly, yes, you're a human, yes, you're a human, I'm a human, yes, you get my respect. However, I'm kind of like, because the
We are
situation,
different
I'm
as
focused on, yeah, they're focusing on me a lot harder than they are you. So we're not on the same level, my man. Like I'm being criticized, or I'm being pinpointed way more than you are. So and then I don't say anything because I'm trying to be respectful, and I'm not trying to go around and make enemies. So I'm just like, okay, brother, okay, sir, I'm gonna go over here because I got some friends over there. I'm gonna talk to, you know what I mean? I'm like, we're
no,
not
this is very clear. When we say, like, for example, dogs, all the dogs are not the same. There are
no
different types of dogs,
right.
and that we didn't create them. I mean, it's just the creator created in such a way,
Hmm.
so we cannot say, oh, all dogs are the same. Likewise, it's not just dogs, all other animals,
Yeah,
plants.
birds, dogs, cats, you name it.
Exactly.
Everybody has
Right.
variants of
If you
sharks.
say
You name
rice, we've got white rice and brown rice.
Black rice. I've seen that recently. Black rice. I'm like, wow, that tastes
Yeah, yeah, of course.
good.
So I mean, it's just nature, and we cannot deny nature. It's just we are created different.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's
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 true.
that's what it is. That's the truth. So we cannot deny it. But then they want us to deny it and say that, oh, we are all the same. No, we cannot deny the truth.
Right. That's just like you say, even in Ethiopia, I'm assuming there are different groups that live even in
No, we the
Ethiopia.
black no 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 no. We the black people are actually we are the same. We are one people.
Yeah. But I'm saying like ethnic groups, like say Nigeria, for instance, there's like 300 different ethnic groups. Everybody looks the same. Everybody is the same, but
Yeah.
there's like different languages. And then they want to say, oh, well, look. You guys got different. No. It's the same
Ethnic
people, like you
ethnic
said.
group, ethnic group is not natural.
Right.
Ethnic group is not natural at all. It's a learned identity.
Right.
It's just that when you are born and raised in a certain way of living, and spoke in a community where only a certain language is spoken, definitely then you will raise having that specific kind of lifestyle and speaking that language. So then, then that is something that you learned after you are born.
Right.
The language, the culture, etc., etc. That
But
is
at first,
that is
but you're
what
saying at first,
ethnic group.
initially you gotta you're on a kind of a clean slate. You don't know any of that stuff, and then it's dumped into you based off of where you're at, right?
Yeah. For example, look at you. For example, had
Mhm.
you been born and raised in Nigeria, there is no way someone can come and say you're not Nigerian.
Right.
But now that, because you only know the American way of style, the American way of thinking, the English language, and
Mhm.
etc., that obviously that's the only thing you know.
Right.
So you look like that culture. So that is your ethnicity. I mean, that's something you know. So that's it. And
Yeah.
that's
We.
something
Yeah.
you learn when you grow
We.
up.
Yeah. You're right. Because a couple of my friends, they're from Nigeria and they're from the Yoruba, and I don't know the language. I know some words, but I'm not fluent, and I don't know the customs and stuff. But I've been around them for years, and I'm starting to learn. But um, it's only because I'm exposed to them. But I'm exposed to different Africans here in Orlando. But to me, like you say, I see the oneness. I see the possibility of unity, and a lot of Africans and other
Possibility.
people, they don't want that.
It's not just possibility. We are actually one people.
Right,
It's
right. No, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is like there what I mean by that, I guess what I'm saying is like they don't see the possibility so much that it makes you think that there isn't I mean, I know there is a possibility, but that they may not really get it, but that has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
you see, there are, as I told you before, there are so many fake things that we are made to accept. Like, for example, you see this uh, when they talk about these ethnic groups, the white people wanted to divide us. You see, they
right.
talk as if we are really different. One ethnic group is different from the other.
Yeah, they even created a
They
science
don't know
called
that
anthropology.
differences. But when it comes to even really obvious different things like the black and white, they want to say, "Oh, we are the same. We are all human beings." Blah blah. But no, there are black and white different people.
Right,
But the black people are one people. There is no difference between black people.
right. You're right.
Nature.
You're right.
But then they want to make you believe that your identity is defined by the region you live in. No,
Right.
my identity is by nature, by blood, something that I cannot change. Wherever I live, wherever I go, wherever I was born.
Yeah,
It's
it's unchangeable. It's constant. It's the truth. Like you can't change the
exactly,
truth. It's just it
and
is
that
what
is
it is.
the blood. The fact that I'm black is
Right.
something that I cannot change.
Right. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to change it. I'm trying to figure out, can I get me some medicine to make my skin darker? People trying to get lighter. I'm trying to get darker. And then they'd be looking at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm proud of the continent, of the people and the history, because I've read, even though some of the history is tainted, I've read enough to say, you know what, this is something I shouldn't be running away from. This is something I should be running toward.
Yeah.
However, a lot of our people, they don't agree with it. I'm telling you, I'm faced with
Yes, because
my
they
opposition by my
have.
own people every day, even tomorrow when I go to work. It's like, but see, there he goes again. Oh, he talking that African stuff. There he goes again. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, you see, first they made us believe that the identity or what they call citizenship is based on the paper that is
oh,
given to you, that is approved by the whatever the host country gives you.
right,
Uh,
but it's not.
everybody has accepted that,
Right.
so they all say that, even the black people here in Europe as well. "Ah, I'm British," they want to, and then they want to argue some on some stuff that that they really don't have any control over. So, but then they want to get some equal privileges like the white people, especially the Caribbeans. They,
Right.
even at some point, they even asked to be labeled as whites, so that they would be, they would get all the privileges that the white British would get. But then, their demand was rejected, and it was really a shame to
Huh.
such
You said the people in the Caribbean?
the Caribbeans who are, because
Yeah, I can
they
kind of
were
see that
brought.
because even on this side, they'll on this side. I'm not sure about Britain, but I know on this side, white and black are legal terms. They're actually legal terms. They're legal terms that were created in here on this side to kind of. It's a legal term, so you have to understand.
It's illegal here as well. But the thing is,
Okay,
because
but why would you want? I don't get like with me. I don't get, and it goes in, it kind of, it lines up what you're saying. I cannot see myself saying, you know what, I don't want to be African no more. I want to be Norwegian, or I want to be French, or I want to be British. Like, no, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That doesn't makes no sense to me. If
yes,
anything,
but they made us believe that whatever, like for example, any African who goes to France, he gets French citizenship. Well, he may feel like, oh, I'm French, but oh, definitely he knows that he's got so many privileges that he doesn't get, just like the white French people do.
right. Yeah,
Obviously,
because at the end of the day, they know you're not French. At the end of the day, they
of
know you're
course,
not British. At the end of the day,
yeah,
they know you're not Chinese. At the end of the
yeah.
day, they know you're not Russian. At the end of the day, they know I'm not American. I'm European American or
But
whatever.
when
They
it
know
comes
I'm
to
that.
America, no, that shouldn't be so. In even when I get so mad, the black people are always, all of them, they are called African American, whereas the white Americans are called Americans. They're not called European Americans.
Right.
But whereas the white people are also immigrants for America, they're not the owners of America.
No, I know.
Yeah, in fact, when you compare between the black and the
That's
whites,
the
the
problem.
black people should be even more privileged in America than the whites, because the blacks have sacrificed so many of their energy, their life.
But what's funny is like when you go back to the Aboriginal people, or the people that were here first before the Europeans, they were actually us. They were actually Africans who had sailed over, who was already making trade with people on this side, who was always, they were already doing stuff. So when you look at old pictures of people that are of native descent, they're
Actually,
strikingly
all African Americans, they should be considered as native, because
right.
even when they were back then, when they were taken by force from Africa to America, and then to work like a donkey there to develop the country, those native people, they didn't do anything. Had they, actually, had they been fighting to return you back to Africa, at least you would have been joining your family, and all
Right.
these problems wouldn't have been created. But they
Now,
they have
uh
allowed all those, and then they didn't do anything. And now they cannot say, "Oh, you're not native." Actually, the whites cannot be native because
No,
they
they're not. Yeah, they're the real ones that are not. And I think now people are starting to come into that realization through um not, actually reading and so forth. But you're right in that. However, I'm noticing now they're starting to get people, certain people in this country starting to get scared because they're like, we're outnumbered in a sense. Or we're going to be
who is
outnumbered.
outnumbered.
The people who are who claim to be of European descent, who claim to be in power who claim to be in charge.
Really? Are they really out being
They skew the
less?
numbers a lot. They skew the numbers a lot, but I know, based off of keeping track of the numbers that they're putting out, the statistics and so forth, and you can kind of see it when you're just out and about. Not just here in Orlando. I'm talking about in different cities. You can ask people, what do you normally see? Do you normally see a European, or do you normally see someone that's not? And then overwhelmingly, people are saying, I'm seeing people who are not. So, and then, so they're skewing the numbers, but they're starting to be a minority. They are, and they know that. They're actually putting out
Exactly, because
information.
they are. It is the white
And
people
then,
who are. It is the white people who are labeling everybody else as minority.
right. And then what happens, sister, is that now they know they're starting to be a minority. Then all of a sudden, here comes COVID.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now you know, oh, wait a minute, if we don't do something, we're gonna be the minority, they're gonna be the majority. And then all of a sudden this stuff comes about. And everyone's like oblivious to it. And I'm like, you don't know what's going on. It's called survival. You see? And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden something comes out of nowhere, and then it's like people are dropping off like flies. And then they show reports. I don't know about in England, but here in the United States, they say, oh, overwhelmingly the Hispanic and the Black populations are not taking the vaccine. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They're dying. And you're like, what? That doesn't make sense, because I don't even know a person in my family who has passed away from that. And I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm just saying I've never. And then the people that I do know who are non-family who have gotten it, now they're telling them they don't have it no more. So I'm like, what? Something's just not. But I can kind of see where what's happening is the people are getting afraid because of the numbers, of the sheer numbers, and the birth rate. The birth rates of certain individuals in this country are higher than the birth rates of the ruling class. And that's I always make it clear wherever I go, there is a ruling class. So let's not play that.
And
Like you
when
say,
you see
that's not,
this, yeah, when you see this COVID spread in Africa, the highest COVID victims are in South Africa,
yeah,
because people there are under the control of the white people, so
right.
they can do
And they
whatever
can
they.
document it, quote unquote, in South Africa. They can document it easier. It's like you say, it's almost like a catalyst.
Not only documented, like as you know, as being suspected, if the virus is really fabricated by human, by them, then it's easy for them to spread it in South Africa on the black people, because they have all the access. And also they are the ones who are in the medical service as well. So everything is under their control in South Africa, so they can do whatever they want on the people there. So those South Africans are really in danger. They tell them, oh, you are developing, blah blah, but then they are controlling them like hell.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I um have read scholarly journals, medical journals on this side, and I'm not sure what type of blood type you have, but I have O positive. My wife has O positive. My son has O positive. My mother has O positive. My father has O positive. Now, mind you, my wife, we're not related. We're not related by blood at all, but she has the same blood. She has O positive blood, just like me. The whole
Oh no,
family.
those type of blood is just there are only four types of blood,
Right.
so a lot of people got the same. Oh no, that kind of similarity is not the thing that defines us. It's just
No, no, no. I know.
the
What
different.
I'm saying is like we don't get sick. I have not missed a day of work since I've been an adult. Like literally, I didn't miss one day of work when I was in the military. I didn't miss one day of work when I was in law enforcement. So I was in the military for 8. I was in law enforcement for 6. I left law enforcement. I've been a teacher for 9 years, never missed a day. Not one day, never been like, never had the flu, never had a flu shot, nothing. Never been to the doctor, never had a broken bone, none of that. And then they're telling me, oh, well, you're going to get sick and you're going to possibly die. And I'm looking at this whole thing like, wait a minute, how is that possible? And then I went all around the world, never caught anything. And y'all telling me now I'm going to catch this thing, supposedly. And I'm like, man, nah, something's not right. Even my mom, she's a nurse. She's like, it doesn't make sense. What they're putting out on the TV does not coincide on how a virus actually works. But they're not going to tell you that. And then my immune system, I take 39 different herbal supplements every morning. So my immune system is at its optimum. It's running like it should. But yet I'm told to wear a mask, which actually when I wear a mask, I feel extremely tired. I come home, I'm tired. Uh-oh, what happened? Uh-oh. Help. I'm by myself. Where y'all at? Uh-oh. Shumba. Uh-oh. Man. Oh, she came back.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know what happened. Oh, she came back. Shumba came back. Yeah. So you can hear us?
It seems like this
Yeah.
internet stuff can drive you crazy. But I just want to thank you guys for keeping the conversation going. It's really highly appreciated. And I can see with the comments that you do.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. So all this time, what we've been talking, people have been listening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
No, it's good. I mean, sometimes I do better not knowing that someone's listening versus they are listening,
Okay, yeah.
because the conversation is
So the
real.
thing is,
It's just
this,
like if we were in a place in England and we were drinking tea and we started talking and somebody started to listen. It's the same concept. People
yeah,
learn from other people just by being just listening to the conversation.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this COVID thing, she was asking if Africa is making the right decision or not. I do believe that we're just going with the flow. Because in order, if somebody has to make a right decision, first of all, that person has to be well informed. You see, he
Mhm.
has to be really he has to get all the informations so that he can make a sound decision. But then we're not
Mhm.
getting any information. All the information we get is only from one source,
Right.
manipulated by one, by certain people.
Right.
So that's where the main problem is. We cannot continue like this. We should have our own network, our own well recognized network globally, at least, controlled by 100% Black people, so that we would know exactly what is going on.
Right.
But right now, from the start till the end, all the information from, everything we're getting is only from one source, from them,
Right.
from the Western countries. So when they say that there is a virus being created, it's all from them.
Right.
When they say that this people have died, we don't know.
Right.
We only hear it from them.
Right.
When they say that the virus is like this, like that, we don't know.
Right. You
Everything we
don't
hear
know.
from
Yeah,
them.
you don't know because they controlling the narrative, and you're right.
And when they say that the cure is this,
Yeah.
we have to just accept,
Yeah.
what
My
we
thing.
need really our expertise, especially first of all in the media. We need our own media. We have the right to own our media 100%. 100%. And our own journalists, they should be given access so that our journalists can go anywhere to report the
Right.
situation as it is, so that we, the Black people, can also be well informed about the situation. We want a trusted media that we all can listen to, and then they can also say their own thing, and then we also have to have our own media that we can listen to as well, and then we can compare and contrast, and and then we can make sound decisions. Not just
Right.
media, we our own Black people, those, the in the medical fields, they should like really sit down in the laboratory and work on this virus thing, and then approve which facts are true and which are not true, and then they should inform us, then the correct information. That they should tell us the correct information so that we get informed. So
Right.
but then we don't have any of those.
No, we don't.
We are
That's
entirely depending on them.
right for everything. So
And
anything they
yeah,
put on, anything they
we
say,
have the
anything
right
they.
we
Hmm.
have the right to unite and form our own institutions,
Hmm.
be it in the media, be it in the medical field, be it in the law.
Hmm.
eh, you know, we have all the experts in all the fields,
Right.
but all of our own people, all of our own experts are working for them. They're not working by
Right.
themselves.
That's the problem.
So yeah, we need people, we need our own expertise to work by themselves.
Right. Without any
We should have a place
outside
to go
influence.
to. Yeah, we should have a place to go to, like those Black people in the medical fields, and give our samples, and then ask them, can you tell if I have this COVID or not, you
Right.
know
Right.
and yeah.
Yeah, because they always on this side they always talk about the distrust of the Black community, and I'm like, well, of course, because you putting stuff on us here in America in the past. There's many medical experiments that they conducted on the black population here and so forth. So of course we're going to be not trustful of what's going on and so forth. But I agree with you. The media, the social media, the communication should all be funded and run by people of African origin, and then that way we can trust that. You know, if I see my brother or my uncle or my father and he's a doctor and he's actually checking things out, I'm going to believe them over some person from Westminster Abbey or whatever you want to call it, talking about whatever. I don't trust that because I don't know. You sound, I mean, I hear the English language, but you're not speaking my language and I don't trust you. So anytime I see a face that is foreign to me or that I know may be telling me a lie, I'm not going to trust that. But if I see a face that looks, that's African, and like you say, has done the research on their own, they were not funded by any outside sources to manipulate the results, then I can trust that. You see, but we haven't even, I don't know, hopefully we're moving toward that day. And then I notice people have, like Jewish people have their own news programs. Of course, you have CNN.
Even the Chinese,
even the Chinese got their own.
That's why you see
Al Jazeera.
The reason they developed is that they blocked their source of information from the Western. Even the Facebook, they have their own Facebook.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, and even the Arabs have their own news, the Al Jazeera network, and then we have news, but it's like it's not international yet. To a certain extent, like I can't really get news.
We, the Black people, are just confused by everybody. We listen to the BBC, we listen to the Al Jazeera. Everybody else's news come to us, but we don't have our own.
Right, and we don't. I agree with you 100%. And even on this side, in the United States, there was an attempt to do that, but ironically, the news didn't jump off, whatever, the funding didn't come in right or whatever, but that doesn't mean that you stop. It means that you must continue to go and do something. But a lot of our people, they hit a brick wall and then they stop. I'm done, we tried. No, you got to keep trying, you got to keep pushing, and that's the one thing that I have an issue with is even if you try and you fail, you gotta get back up and keep doing it. You can't, because too many people are dependent on that news. Too many of our people are dependent on it.
Actually, they wanted it that way.
Right.
They wanted, that's the main thing. The media, they are deliberately controlling the whole thing. Because they want us to hear only what they tell us.
Right. And then basically they're creating our reality based off of what we see on their television. That's why I don't even watch the TV.
Yeah, like the Facebook, they created Facebook, for example.
Oh, yeah.
But then Facebook was, in a way, it was good for us, for the Black people, so that we can communicate. But then when they found out that it's becoming really convenient for us to communicate, then he started changing it. He started manipulating.
And then that's when I moved. I moved from Facebook over to this new app called
South Africa.
And then not a lot of people have gone over there yet. I guess they're still in denial. But everyone should be on there. Like I downloaded it. A bunch of people here downloaded it. We're all on it now. It's the same platform as WhatsApp, pretty much same stuff. So it's a mindset. Like I always tell the brothers and sisters on this side, you have to change your mindset. Just change your mindset. I know it's hard. I know, but I'm here to help, moving along. But you got to change the mindset. Oh, here comes Shumba, Queen Shumba. Man, she must have a busy kingdom over there.
Hello, guys. I'm so sorry about this. It seems like the network doesn't favor me. Today I had just something else, but it worked for the best. Just judging from the people's comments, you guys are doing amazing. By the way, I can watch from Facebook, but it seems like I'm not allowed to be on StreamYard. I'm being kicked out for some reason. Probably they're scared that I'll be spreading propaganda. So,
Oh wow.
so anyway, I really appreciate the conversation. Let's just keep it going, and also, how we as Africans can tackle this issue. And looking at Tanzania, I see Magufuli have done quite handsomely. I don't know if that's the way everybody in Africa should just take this COVID thing and say we are Africans, we can come up with our own solutions. And I also have a problem with it's not scientifically proven, but we come from a generation of people saying we've been healed of cancer without scientists, of any diseases. We delivered children without the Caesar. We did all. We survived before this new whatever. So
Right.
I don't know. Should Africa go the herb route in fighting COVID than taking the vaccine? I don't know what your take.
Oh, you go ahead.
Should we go with the herbs and our natural medicines than taking the vaccine?
Yeah, most definitely.
I know it's something that we shouldn't be saying and encouraging because we are not medical experts, but this is something that we really need to talk about to see if there are anything else that we can explore other than the injections.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would say that once again, my
They've lost
statements
me
are from my
again.
own point of view. I do everything naturally, so regardless if COVID is here or not here, I'm always trying to do something natural. So I'm not going to change that because if that's my mindset. So that's the only thing
Oh,
I have
yes,
to
it
say.
seems like I'm muted again.
Uh-oh.
So we can just continue with the conversation.
Yeah, I would like I said, I've done everything naturally for many years now, so I'm not going to stop, regardless of what's going on or not going on. Once again, my statements are my own. I'm making it on my own. I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything different or whatever. You do whatever you want. It's your body. You have that right as a human being. It's your body. However, I've always done things naturally, so I'm going to continue to do that. As far as me putting anything in my body that I don't know, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I have never done that. So that's my take on it. Africa, I think you guys are my. I don't know. The numbers are really low, from my understanding, compared to other parts of the world. Um, Once again, the sister from England, she stated a lot of what we know is based off of one biased group. It's like you gotta look at everything. You gotta look at the information where you're getting it from. You gotta look at your own body, and then you have to understand you are your own person. You have control over your own body. You have that right. And I believe the UN even says that you have human rights. You have human rights as a human being. So, you want to take that into account when you're making a decision. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that is true. I would personally, for me as well. As I said before, the all the informations we know, we are not sure of. It's just, all it's just we hear only what they say, and then I can personally see that they don't even know really well about the nature of the virus, because one time they say something, the other
Mhm.
time they say another thing, and then you also see something happening different as well from what they say. And then I can see they don't even really know exactly. So if they don't know exactly about the virus, then how can they say that they have found some kind of vaccine, without even exactly knowing 100% about the virus? So there is no way I would trust this vaccine for me to protect me from the virus. I would rather use all those, natural remedies like the garlic, ginger, all those are very, very 100% safe,
Mm-hmm.
and they're healthy as well. So, you know, I wouldn't take the vaccine. Why? I mean, I'm not a laboratory mouse, for them to try their invention on me. And also even I hear a lot of uh, bad consequences on the vaccine. Like I see some people have got some really bad
Side effects.
effects from the vaccine as well. So they don't even know about the consequences of the vaccine as well. So I'm not taking that kind of thing on me in my body, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So no, for me, I wouldn't take the vaccine at all.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's going to be a lot of restrictions. I'm being told if you don't take the vaccine, you can't travel, you can't do certain things, you can't go into stores, you can't, I know that that's coming. However, the only thing I can tell the people is that the strongest word in the universe, the strongest word in the, or one of the strongest words in the universe, not the strongest words, but one of the strongest words in the universe is no. It's just saying no. Now imagine if everybody said no and they were all united in saying no, then stuff changes because you just said no.
Yeah. And
But
the other thing is, I have also seen a lot of people that they have been, infected with the virus, but then they have been cured 100% without the vaccine or
yeah,
anything.
there's a sister, I think she's an African doctor out of South Africa. I've seen some of her videos and she said that she cured over 5,000 people. 5,000. She cured, and she on Facebook, and they always try to take her video down. Then somebody slaps it back up, then they take it down. But all you got to do is say no. You
Yeah.
don't agree with
And the
something?
other,
No.
and the
You don't got
other,
to fight. You don't got to fight. You don't have to protest. You don't have to pick up a weapon. You don't have to say anything but just no.
yes, and the
No.
other the other thing is, why do they try to force it for, to give it to us?
A good point, because
Are
I've
they
never taken a
really,
flu
is it
shot.
because they are really concerned for our lives? No.
Because if you were, yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. Out of nowhere, now you love me. Out of nowhere, now you're worried about my well being. But in the
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
near in the near past, in the most recent past, you don't care if I live or die. And now
The,
all of a sudden, oh man, we love you, man. You gotta do this because we're trying to help you. And you're like, what? Wait a minute.
yeah. The
Hold
first
on.
person who should be worried about my own life is me.
Right.
If I'm really concerned, then I should be making that decision without anybody's, trying to force it on me.
Right.
So, I mean, it shouldn't even be some kind, there shouldn't even be any kind of legal enforcement about this. It's just okay. They say they have found a vaccine. Good. They let us know about the vaccine. Good. And then we should be the ones, to be worried and go and get the vaccine.
Right.
I don't know. Why? Is it because they are worried that we will die? No,
No, I think, like, yeah, I have my own,
that
like
is
I said, I have my
nonsense.
own theories, but it's just, it's kind of weird. Like once again, you're concerned about me, even though you wasn't concerned about me any other time. So West Nile, I've been through West Nile, I've been through SARS, I've been through all this other MERS, all this other stuff. Been through it all. Not one vaccination, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh, you got to get this vaccination. What? Wait, hold on. What about all that other stuff? AIDS. Oh, what about all that other stuff? Made it through all of that. And then all of a sudden, yeah, even my wife is like, no. My wife's like, I don't, no. Must be out of your mind, no.
Yeah.
So she knows the power of no. Trust me.
Yeah.
There's power in saying no. And then when you're united and you say no, it's a whole nother ball game. And it's not, you're not being mean, you're not being disrespectful, you're using your mind and you decided to say no. Just like you could say yes. Everyone can say yes. So it's one of those things, and I think that's why I know here we're separated a lot. We're told to quarantine, involuntarily, and you separate yourself from other human beings. You're not talking as much. You're not in groups as much. So it's very difficult sometimes to get a message out.
For that matter, we're not even sure that it actually, being in group is actually bad for the virus. I mean, it's
Exactly.
just they say so. They said so that that they told us that we have to lock down in order to protect ourselves, and we did it. We just accepted it, but we're not sure if it is actually really. Of course, I go out, for example, for shopping. And in the shop, I meet a lot of. I see a lot of people. I meet them, of course, not in close by, but at least in distance. But then we're not sure of anything.
Right.
It's just, we're not sure. But then, okay, the lockdown is not something bad. It's okay. It's something we can do, and it's okay if we can accept it and then look ourselves up in order to protect ourselves. Okay, the lockdown, it's fine. We accept it. But the vaccine, no, because it's something that gets into our body.
And I know on this side, it's ironic, but a lot of people who are saying that they don't want to take the vaccine, they're labeling them as being crazy or being against the system or whatever it may be. They're starting to label the people. So you got to be aware of that you're maybe labeled negatively in socially. You might be labeled negatively for saying no, or you don't agree with this or that. I'm noticing that now. There's a lot of people that are starting to buy into that.
Yes.
They're buying into that craziness. And
Yes.
it's like, wow, I can't say no, but like when did it become a crime to say no? But it's actually becoming a crime to say no. It's actually becoming a crime to tell the truth as well.
Yeah.
So
yes,
you have to be careful of that. You got to be careful of that. The whole world needs to be careful of that. When did it ever become a crime to tell the truth?
Yes, they are using different tactics to force us to take the vaccine legally, morally, medically. So many tactics they're using so that we force ourselves to take the vaccine. But why are they, taking all these pressures? Why are they making all these pressures on us to take the vaccine? I mean, anybody who is really trusting the vaccine and who's really worried about it, that they can go and get it.
Right.
And those people protect themselves. Why are they worried about those people who have not taken the vaccine? Because if anybody is not taking the vaccine, it's that person who's going to, be affected.
Right.
So, those people who have already taken the vaccine, who have already trusted the vaccine, then they have already protected themselves well.
Right.
They
No,
have
exactly. So it doesn't matter if you're unprotected because you already are protected. So what does it matter? So if I take the vaccine and my neighbor doesn't, Why should I be worried about my neighbor when in
Exactly.
fact he gonna catch it and probably something's gonna
Yourself.
happen to him? But how can it happen to me? I already took the vaccine, so it doesn't make
Exactly. You
sense.
have
It don't
already
make no sense.
protected yourself.
Now, I will say this. Another thing that's surfacing and that I'm noticing is this immense fear. Everybody's in fear. Everybody's scared. And to me, anytime you have a large amount of fear, that energy is negative. Number one. Number two, you can control people through fear very
It,
easily.
that is a tactic. What they
Yeah.
do is they created a huge amount of fear on us, but then you see the way they presented about the nature of the virus is not as like they say. People get really cured without any medication.
Right.
It's not like as scary as they tell us, but then they every day, it's not just every day, like 10 100 times a day they talk about it, covid, 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 so that like continuously we get it into our head, and then we create fear, so that, oh, we would say, oh, no, 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 I have to take this vaccine, oh, you have to take it, and then everybody gets into this decision, and taking the vaccine.
Right.
Well,
Through fear.
yeah,
Through
yeah.
being scared.
Creating the
Completely
fear is
scared.
the tactic.
It's time that people stand up and stop being afraid and take charge of their own bodies and really think about stuff.
Yeah,
Also, too, it's time for the people in Africa to unite and don't let funding manipulate you because then that's a lack of integrity. So you shouldn't even be a leader if you allow funding or money to manipulate your decisions and so forth. I know in the past our leaders were chosen over a period of time. So they watched the leader for a while, and the would-be leader, they watched them and see what their character was like and so forth. And then finally, in their age of wisdom, after they've been on the planet for a while, they were allowed to be leaders and so forth. Some younger than others, but the point I'm trying to make is that the character was there, the integrity was there, and then therefore you have a good leader because a leader is one that cannot be manipulated. All right. So if you're a leader and you're being manipulated, shame on you. Stop, because you're hurting yourself and everyone around you, and then you're getting this money that eventually I'm hearing is not even going to matter because they're going over to cryptocurrency, which is another part of this COVID lockdown and all this stuff. So I've been out ever since this thing started. I'm around people and everything, and I don't know, nothing happened to me. So I'm talking about people who I know who have tested positive and stuff. I've been around them. Nothing happened. I'm not gonna. Well, I can't be your friend, or I can't come visit you to see how you're doing. That's not gonna happen. I care about people. I care about other human beings. So I'm gonna go check up on them. I'm gonna see if they okay. If they need food. If they need something. All right. I'm not. Oh, I can't go to your house because you tested positive. And no. I'm still gonna check up on you. So it is what it is. I know in my home I don't social distance. That's another weird thing. I don't social distance with my own wife, my son, the rest of the family members. I don't
yeah.
social distance, but yet nothing's going on there. Um, yeah, even in my place of work, there's really no social distancing going on. Everybody's just all bundled up, all jumped up, I'm like, wow, something's not right here. So anyway, then when you go out to eat, you got the mask on, but then you got to take it off to eat, and then everybody takes off their mask to eat. So how does that work? I don't know.
A lot
There's
of things.
a
A lot of
lot of
things
things.
they don't give sense. It's just okay, all those acceptable things. Okay, we do accept social distancing. Okay, it is accept. Okay, it's something that we can do. Wearing a mask. Okay, it's also something that we can do as well. But still, we're not even sure that wearing a mask can actually really is protecting us. We're not even sure if social distancing is really protecting us, but it's something we can do. It's okay. But taking the vaccine, no.
Yeah, yeah. So, I guess the last thing, real quick is just, whatever your gut feeling is, inside your being, your soul, so to speak, whatever your gut feeling is, I would definitely rely on that more than any other type of information. Because I know, like, when my gut feeling, it always serves me right. It has served me right for many years. So, it's that little feeling you get, like something's not right, or I shouldn't go over this person's house, or I shouldn't go over here. It's not fear. It's a feeling you get, and then you act upon it, and then it causes you not to get into more mess, so to speak. It's like an inner alarm system.
Yeah.
And if
And
you,
the other thing is, even about the virus, like the very first time that we heard of this COVID, the emergence of this COVID-19, I had just some of my friends, calling me on the phone and saying that they have seen some birds dead on the street right there at the beginning, at the emergence of the virus. They were really shocked to see birds, dead birds on the streets. So, all those kind of things really triggers a lot of
but
questions.
But also too, I remember recently they said that in the area where this thing supposedly came from, that they were able to handle it in China, in Wuyang or whatever, what's it called, the city that it came from, and then no one took a vaccine, and they were able to clear it up.
There are like Ethiopian YouTubers in China. They say like they have controlled it 100%. So there is no virus anymore. So
Right?
they're
Yeah.
going
How do you
around.
explain that? How do you explain that? So
Yeah,
anyway, Queen Shumba wanted us to wrap it up.
yeah, okay.
Um, she wanted me to tell everyone, thank you for listening to Radio 54. And I don't know, tune in next time for the next program. Um, yeah, we definitely, I don't know why we're having network problems, but I know why, and I get it. However, in the near future, hopefully we could establish our own network, and then there won't be any interruption ever, because we're running it ourselves collectively as a group. Um, yeah, I wanted to thank everyone personally. I want to thank Queen Shumba. And what's your sister? What's your name again?
My name is Muluwerk.
Mulawork.
Yes.
All right, so we got Queen Mulawork from England, and yeah, thank you everybody, for listening and so forth. Yeah, thanks, because we got to have more conversations so people can feel less stressed out and get rid of the fear and allow yourself the power to say no or yes. One of the something. Say something. Mm-hmm. All right. So I guess I gotta get out of here. So thank you, Mula Rick. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, right now my child is crying.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk. We'll talk soon.
Hope to hear from you again.
Yes, ma'am. You will. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.